Monday morning was a lot of fun. It is time for Monday afternoon in Mental Health Week. The magic track was created by Mr. Lanci, 6 of his friends, or Mental Health Week's experts, and Principal Vaughn after he suffered a traumatic brain injury. To the surprise of the students, these experts are waiting to greet the class at the magic track. These experts travel to Tampa, Florida for each Mental Health Week. They travel from all around the country to do their part in teaching children vital mental health topics and tools. Although the experts only join the class on their day of Mental Health Week, they always come in for introductions on Monday too. These 7 adults are smiling just as big as the students. Mr. Lanci looks at the experts and says, "Thank you all for traveling here. It is great to see each one of you. Together, we are going to deliver a mental health week like never before. Please introduce yourself to our students with your name, where you traveled from, and which day you will be leading the class." Mr. John Infeld, Edgewater, New Jersey, I will be your first expert. Dr. Richard Basio, Miami, Florida, I will be back later this afternoon. Miss Chris Helene Bridge, Houston, Texas, I will see you on Tuesday. Dr. Carlos Garcia, Tampa, Florida, I will see all of you on Wednesday. Mr. James Durand, East Northport, New York, I will be back on Thursday morning. Mr. Tony Alexander, Houston, Texas, I am looking forward to rejoining the class when I come back Thursday afternoon. Mr. Lanci follows up with, I will be your expert on our final day together this Friday. Before Mental Health Week is officially underway, our experts each bake their own dish for us to have a family-style lunch together. We are going to save all of our questions until we see them again. Let's eat. The class yells together, "Thank you, experts!" Each year, it is important to Mr. Lanci to make sure the students have a big meal before they start the final week of school. They are going to need the energy. Paul is a food enthusiast and loves to watch cooking shows at home. He looks at Mr. Lanci with a half smile and asks, I can ask questions about food though, right? Of course, Paul. They are happy to help. The students were starving and did not want to wait any longer to begin Mental Health Week. They ate their food in record time. As everyone finishes eating, Mr. Lanci looks at the experts and says, "Thank you all for stopping by to say hello and meet my students. I look forward to seeing you on your day." The students are looking out at an indoor track with 5 stations. Each station is set up differently and all have drawn the interest of the students. Zach also notices the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are in big circles around the track. He whispers what he sees to Michael, and both students are eager to begin. Dana raises her hand and says, "Mr. Lanci, why are we at a track for Mental Health Week?" Great question, Dana. Connor, Paul, would one of you mind sharing what you learned about walking before school started? Follows Mr. Lanci. Connor quickly shares, Paul and I took a walk this morning and lifted some boxes. I feel better mentally and am thinking more clearly. Thank you for sharing, Connor. Mr. John Infeld is going to start Mental Health Week. As a health teacher, he is going to further explain why we are walking the track to improve our mental health, along with the benefits exercise and a healthy diet have on our mental health. Mr. Infeld walks towards the class and says, "Happy Monday! I am honored to start your final week of school. I have a great time here each year. Mr. Lanci was one of my roommates at the University of Tampa, and I moved back to New Jersey after graduating. We are going to walk the first 1/5 of the track to my station and sit down on the track when I stop walking." The enthusiasm is evident as the class merrily follows Mr. Infeld. Let's stop here. We walk the track during Mental Health Week because of its benefits. Walking is important for our mental health because it makes us feel good and keeps us healthy. Additional benefits of walking include making us feel happier, less stressed, more alert, and ready to make decisions. Whenever we go walking, we get to see new things. Nature, cars, maybe meet a new friend walking along the way. Walking can be social too. We can go walking with our friends, families, and pets. Being social has many benefits for our mental health, and Mr. Durand will discuss that in more detail when he comes back on Thursday. Walking is a type of exercise. As you learned so far, exercise is not only important for our physical health, but our mental health too. Gab is curious how exercising can improve her mental health, so she asks, "Are there any other reasons why exercise is important for our mental health?" Mr. Infeld replies, "When we exercise, a lot of good things happen. Exercising helps us develop healthy habits, sleep better, and keeps us healthy. Class, please choose a partner. It is time to have fun and exercise. We will play a game called I Go, You Go." With a smile on Lily Rose's face, she enthusiastically says, "I love that game." Mr. Infeld is thrilled to play this game with Mr. Lanci's class because his students in New Jersey love this game. He begins by showing the students correct form for push-ups and sit-ups. He starts by giving the direction, "Whichever exercise I do, copy me. I would like you to repeat after me. Ready, set, go! Let's start with 10 push-ups." Walking around the room, Mr. Lanci notices Jeff using perfect form and shouts, "You are doing an awesome job, Jeff." As Mr. Infeld and the class finish their push-ups, he continues his instructions with, "Excellent job, class. Next, let's do 10 sit-ups." Mr. Lanci continues to walk around the station and monitor the students. He notices all of the students are almost finished doing their push-ups and sit-ups. As the students complete their final exercise, Mr. Infeld also notices the children becoming fatigued. "Awesome job, kids. Mr. Lanci, your class is awesome," says Mr. Infeld. He adds, "Let's break for a few minutes, grab a cup of water, and a bowl of fruit on the table straight ahead." Luke has always been a healthy eater. He asks, "Why is eating healthy important for our mental health?" Mr. Infeld explains, "When we eat healthy, we are making our bodies and brains healthier. Healthy food gives us the vitamins and minerals we need to stay healthy. If we eat too much unhealthy food, we can become overweight, sick, or depressed. Dr. Basio will teach us more about depression this afternoon. A healthy diet means eating healthy foods. Who would like to tell me what their favorite fruit or vegetable is? I have a banana every morning, says Samantha. Dakota adds, I love apples. Dakota is enjoying this lesson very much. He continues to participate, asking, Mr. Infeld, why are you so passionate about health and exercise? Mr. Infeld takes a deep breath and shares, Mr. Lanci and I both suffered a traumatic brain injury. We did not get injured at the same time, but we helped each other get through them. We had to work hard to recover from our injuries, and now both work to raise awareness to help others improve their mental health. You have all been doing great so far. Now, raise your hands if you are ready for the first magical part of our adventure. All of the students immediately raise their hands while Matthew is also jumping up and down. When it comes time for magic each day, the class will leave the station area they are at and walk back to the track. Zach made an astute observation earlier. He noticed 5 numbers in circles spread out across the track. Those are magic circles and where the magic happens. Our track is unique and split into 5 sections, explains Mr. Lanci. For the magic track to work, all of the students must stand in the middle of the circle. We are closest to number 1 on the track today because it is the first day of Mental Health Week. When you come back tomorrow, you will be at Tuesday Station and closest to number 2 on the track. The numbers are for which day of the school week it is, Moses shouts. You are a very smart boy, Moses. Great observation. Mr. Lanci commends Moses. He continues, once we are all standing in the middle of the circle and clap our hands 3 times, we will magically appear at a new location. Amanda and Dana simultaneously shout, Mr. Lanci, where are we going first? You will find out in 3 claps from now. Dr. Basio will be waiting for us there to start our final activity. Say thank you to Mr. Infeld, Mr. Lanci follows. The class runs to their first expert and gives him a giant hug. As the students walk to the center of the circle, Mr. Lanci instructs the class, let's clap all together now. Ready, set, let's clap. 1 clap, 2 clap, 3 claps, poof! Welcome, everyone, Dr. Basio cheerfully says. He is wearing his scrubs and has a lot of new information to share with the students. I am an emergency resident doctor not too far from here. My flight from Miami was less than 1 hour long. My job is to help people feel better. Mr. Lanci and I graduated both high school and college together. Some of you will be lifelong friends too. How did you enjoy your first experience with magic? Brianna screams, that was the coolest thing I have ever done. I am happy to hear that. Mr. Lanci wanted to save the last hour of class for my session. Welcome to Bayshore Boulevard, Dr. Basio says. Please pass around this sunblock before we start our session. After applying sunscreen, do your best to get outside and enjoy 15 minutes of sunshine each day. Cancel that last piece. The class has magically appeared at magic location number 1. This secret location is on Bayshore Boulevard in Tampa. To be precise, the students have appeared outside of the grocery store on the boulevard. Bayshore Boulevard is the longest continuous sidewalk in the world. It overlooks the bay and is a sight for sore eyes. Dr. Basio and the class will walk 20 minutes to the water table he set up before the students arrived. Afterwards, they will begin their walk back to magic location number 1. As we walk along the sidewalk, we are going to first discuss why it is important to stay hydrated. All living things need to drink water to survive. The body and brain need water to function. Water makes up half of our body weight and gives us energy. Mr. Basio continues, we cannot live without water for more than a few days. When we do not have enough water, our brains do not work correctly. When we do not have enough water, our brains do not work correctly and slow down. If we become dehydrated, we can experience mental health challenges like depression and anxiety. Luke, normally quiet in class, raises his hand and asks, Dr. Basio, what is anxiety? Great question, responds Dr. Basio. Anxiety is having worry and fear. It can also change our eating and sleeping patterns, moods, or behaviors. Paige raises her hand next and asks, and what was that word you said that started with the letter D? I heard Mr. Infeld use it earlier. Ah, another great question, Dr. Basio talking while walking. Remember, class, it is normal to feel sad once and a while because sometimes unhappy things happen in life. Depression is when we are sad or in a bad mood for a really long time. Remember, always tell a parent, guardian, or teacher when you are not feeling normal. If something has changed with your sleep, energy, or diet, talk to an adult you are comfortable with. They want to help. I sure am thirsty, Dr. Basio says. Let's stop at the water table coming up on the right of us and take 5 minutes to cool off under the trees. I will set a timer on my phone. As the class is enjoying the shade and cold water, Mr. Lanci addresses the class. I would like to share more benefits of walking outside. An easy way to improve our mood is by getting natural sunlight. It sounds simple, but it is incredibly effective. After applying sunscreen, do your best to get outside and enjoy 15 minutes of sunshine each day. The natural sunlight synthesizes vitamin D, which can improve our moods. This is one reason why we are walking outside this afternoon. Dr. Basio's timer sounds and the class starts walking back towards magic location number 1. Dr. Basio restarts the conversation. While enjoying natural sunlight, it is a great time to focus on each of our senses. When we use our 5 senses, it allows us to focus on what is around us. As depression narrows our focus, expanding our view using our senses helps us appreciate the world we live in. When times get tough, step outside to focus on your surroundings. This simple exercise will help us relax. Who knows what our senses are? Anyone can answer. Mr. Lanci and Dr. Basio here. Smell and touch. Taste. Sound and sight. Dr. Basio claps and says, well done, Moses, Amanda, and Cameron. If we use our senses, we can better focus on what is around us. Using our senses allows us to relax and appreciate our surroundings. Let's take 1 minute to focus on our senses. I will set another timer. Mr. Lanci is extremely proud of his class for actively engaging with both guests so far. They are paying immense attention and asking relevant questions. Does everyone feel relaxed right now? Asked Dr. Basio. The class happily says together, "We feel amazing mentally and physically." The class is approaching magic location number 1, yet are full of energy like the day has not begun yet. The last topic I would like to introduce is one more challenge students experience mentally. The last topic I would like to introduce is one more challenge students may experience mentally, begins Dr. Basio. It is a long name, but there is an abbreviation. Don't worry. This mental health challenge is called Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder, or ADHD. Students struggling with ADHD may have trouble focusing, sitting still, or acting impulsively. What I am about to say to you next, you have already heard today, and you will hear again this week. I cannot stress it enough. If you ever feel like something is not normal, there is no need to panic. Talk to a trusted adult and everything will be okay. Tough times do not last, but you will. This session went so fast. It was great to meet all of you. Dr. Basio waves goodbye as the students are arriving at magic location number 1. All together, the students begin clapping. 1 clap, 2 claps, 3 claps, poof! It is time for learning checkpoint number 3. Learning checkpoint number 3. What are 2 mental health benefits from walking? Think to yourself, and please write in the book. Of course, I would love to hear from you. Please share in the comments below. Learning checkpoint number 4. Describe anxiety in your own words. Again, please think to yourself and write in the book. I would love to hear from you on this one too. Please drop your comments. Share your comments in the comments section below. I have had a great time reading Monday morning and Monday afternoon to you so far. I look forward to starting Tuesday morning with you very soon.